The welfare state has done to Black Americans what slavery could not have done, Jim Crow and the harshest racism could not have done, namely to destroy the Black family. Many people believe that the route to economic power is to have political power. And there's absolutely no evidence to support that. Government cannot create a special privilege for one American without simultaneously creating a special disadvantage for some other American.
The phrase, "takes no prisoners," should have been invented to describe Walter Williams.
I was a radical in terms of the civil rights movement. I was not a supporter of Martin Luther King, but more a supporter of Malcolm X.
You don't have to scratch your head and say, I wonder what Walter's really saying, what he really means.
I am very, very happy that I got virtually all of my education before it became fashionable for white people to like Black people.
Does the country need more people like Walter Williams? More people who are intellectually honest, intellectually rigorous, tell it like it is, and don't engage in groupthink? I don't see how we could have too many Walter Williamses.
Major funding for Walter Williams' Suffer No Fools was provided by Dunn's Foundation and Searle Freedom Trust. Additional funding was provided by Beach Foundation, Harvey Cody, Donors Trust, the Hickory Foundation, William Shepard, and the Woodford Foundation for Limited Government.
Walter Williams begins his day early, before most are out of bed. His enthusiasm for life is based on sound advice he received as a young man. Learn to come early and stay late, and always be ready when the opportunity train comes along.
If there's one great thing that can be said about the United States, just because you know where a person ends up in life, you can't be sure about where he started. Black Americans have made the greatest gains over some of the highest hurdles in the shortest period of time than any racial group in the history of mankind. Now, the question before us is, how can we make these gains available to a large percentage of the Black community for whom they appear to be elusive?
He is an author, educator, and syndicated columnist. His provocative ideas and infectious humor have attracted leaders in business and government, and millions of Americans who have come to share his views on radio and television. He has been called outrageous and impossible because he believes so deeply in the American Constitution and in America. This morning, Walter Williams will make the drive from his suburban home in Philadelphia to the campus of George Mason University in Fairfax, Virginia, to do what he has done for more than 45 years, teach economics.
When I go to my grocer and I buy a gallon of milk for $3, I say, look, if you will give me title to that gallon of milk, I will give you title to this $3. I will exchange these titles. So the essence of exchange is the transfer of property rights.
Teaching is a passion for Walter Williams. He continues to believe the young people in his classroom are America's best hope for the future.
I've learned a lot from Dr. Williams in that you can tell that he approaches the ideas of liberty and private property and free markets from a moral perspective. And for me, that is incredibly important.
The reason why slavery is immoral, or rape or murder is immoral, because it violates private property. And so if you start with the idea of self-ownership, then you can say, well, what is moral and what is immoral? The ideas that you hear me talk about, that people hear me discussing when I'm on the radio or in my column. Those ideas or those discussions never reach my classroom because I think that it's academic dishonesty to use the classroom to proselytize students.